What if following Jesus costs more than you ever expected? What if faith isn't about comfort but about surrender? What if the path to life first asks you to let go? Large crowds were traveling with Jesus. People followed him because they were curious, hopeful, inspired, and amazed by his words and miracles. From the outside, it looked like success. Numbers were growing, attention was increasing, momentum was building. And then Jesus turned around and said something that stopped everyone in their tracks. If anyone comes to me and does not hate father and mother, wife and children, brothers and sisters, yes, even their own life, such a person cannot be my disciple. The words are shocking. They sound harsh. They feel unsettling. Jesus was not softening his message to keep the crowd. He was sharpening it. Jesus was not commanding hatred in the emotional sense. He was using strong language to make a point that could not be misunderstood. Compared to loyalty to him, every other allegiance must come second. Even the most sacred relationships cannot sit at the center of our lives above God. Then he continued, "Whoever does not carry their cross and follow me cannot be my disciple." In the Roman world, the cross was not a metaphor. It was an instrument of execution. To carry a cross meant one thing: there was no turning back. Jesus was telling the crowd that following him meant dying to self, to control, to comfort, and to personal ambition. This was not a message designed to attract fans. It was a call to form disciples. Jesus then told two short illustrations. Suppose someone wants to build a tower. Will they not first sit down and estimate the cost to see if they have enough money to complete it? Otherwise, after laying the foundation and not being able to finish, everyone who sees it will ridicule them. Then he spoke of a king going to war, who must consider carefully whether he has the strength to face an opposing army. If not, he sends a delegation to seek peace while there is still time. Both illustrations point to the same truth. Following Jesus requires a decision made with open eyes. Faith is not impulsive. Discipleship is not accidental. Jesus invites people to count the cost before they follow him. Why would Jesus say this? Because shallow commitment cannot sustain deep obedience. Jesus knew that emotional excitement fades. Crowds move on, pressure comes, opposition rises, and when faith is built only on comfort or benefit, it collapses when sacrifice is required. He would rather have fewer followers who are committed than many who are unprepared. Then Jesus said something even more direct. In the same way, those of you who do not give up everything you have cannot be my disciples. This does not mean every disciple must sell all possessions. It means nothing can own you. Nothing can rival Jesus for authority over your life. Everything must be surrendered to him. Discipleship is not about adding Jesus to your life. It is about giving him your life. This teaching challenges modern ideas of faith. Many people want Jesus as Savior, but not as Lord. They want forgiveness without transformation, blessing without obedience, comfort without cost. But Jesus never offered that version of faith. He offered life, but it comes through surrender. He offered freedom, but it begins with obedience. He offered hope, but it requires trust even when the road is hard. Jesus ended with a final image. Salt is good, but if it loses its saltiness, how can it be made salty again? It is fit neither for the soil nor for the manure pile. It is thrown out. Salt was valuable in the ancient world. It preserved food. It added flavor. It symbolized usefulness. But salt that lost its purpose was worthless. Jesus was warning that disciples who lose their distinctiveness, who follow halfway, who compromise when it costs too much, lose their witness. They blend in. They no longer transform anything. This is not meant to scare people away. It is meant to awaken them. Jesus wants followers who understand what they are choosing, because discipleship will cost you something. It may cost you approval. It may cost you relationships. It may cost you comfort. It may cost you control. But it also gives you something far greater. It gives you purpose beyond success. It gives you identity beyond performance. It gives you hope beyond circumstances. When Jesus calls someone to follow him, he is not inviting them into religion. He is inviting them into a transformed life. The call to carry your cross is not about seeking suffering. It is about choosing obedience, even when it hurts. It is about trusting God when the path feels narrow. It is about letting go of the need to save yourself and placing your life fully in his hands. Many people in the crowd that day walked away. The teaching was too heavy. The cost felt too high. and Jesus let them go. Because forced faith is not faith at all. But those who stayed, those who counted the cost and followed anyway, discovered something extraordinary. In losing their lives, they found them. In surrendering control, they found peace. In placing Jesus first, everything else found its proper place. This passage invites us to reflect honestly. Why do I follow Jesus? What am I holding back? What am I afraid to lose? It also invites courage, because the cost of discipleship is real, but so is the cost of not following. A life built on self eventually collapses under its own weight. A faith without surrender eventually runs dry. Jesus does not hide the price because he values honesty. He knows that only wholehearted disciples can endure the journey. The cross comes before the crown. Surrender comes before glory. Following comes before understanding. And yet, Jesus never asks us to give up something without giving us something better in return. He gives himself. Thank you for watching this video. If this message challenged or encouraged you, please like the video, follow Holy Path Insights for more teachings from the words of Jesus, and share this with someone who may be wrestling with their faith. Your support helps spread God's truth to more hearts.